Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with yet another video. And this one I want to talk to you about the vintage collection Star Wars figures. What's going wrong with it, the biggest problems we're going to see, and what I'm really not happy about. So let's just get right into it. I'm going to tell you, you wait till the end, and I'll tell you my predictions for the future, because there is really no finite definition, and there's not been a release schedule that has been submitted. We know a few things about future waves. But anyway, let's move on. So, first thing I want to say is that if you look at this, you got 2 from Solo, 2 from Rogue One, and those were added as the case assortment. And the problem with that is that this guy's already a 6-inch peg warmer. We know that. This guy warms the pegs at 6 inches because, you know, the number one problem with this, and I'm going to go give you 5 to 7, 10, whatever problems, is that the vintage collection goes to collectors. And I'm not going to say that people that watched Rogue One for the first time or Solo for the first time didn't instantly become Solo collectors. But Star Wars collecting is rooted deep in the original trilogy. And the vintage collection is giving those collectors the opportunity to buy figures that are reimagined better than the originals in the packaging that costs $1,500 a piece now. And now they're coming up with, oh, let's just throw out Han Solo, Infant's Nest, which is actually a cool figure. The Death Trooper. Let's buy the Death Trooper for the 8th freaking time. And then this hover tank pilot, which I've got a couple hover tank pilots floating around, but I don't know why or how I got them, because they're my kids, I guess. They're 5 POAs and all this stuff. But it's a really bad decision. So you've got people at Hasbro, so number one, picking the wrong figures. Number two, they're mistreating the vintage collection. And yes, they're mistreating this because 99.999% of collectors want to complete the original 92. Now, 105 if you count all of the variations with the 3 R2-D2s and the 2 C-3POs, and then both of the different best security guards and all that stuff. All the iterations of the Luke Skywalker and the variations and all blah, blah, blah. Backing off of that, 92 is where we're at. And we're all looking forward to 2019 because we're going to get the yak face. That's going to look kind of like a mix between the 97 yak face and the 1985 yak face. But in the end, nobody asked for this. Nobody. Now maybe one person, maybe 4 people asked for the infant nest. But we all know that's a girl underneath. But what you see is, with this infant nest, you can't take the mask off. I mean, what the heck? So I guess leave it to your imagination. So my hover tank pilot sustained damage. And were there 2 to pick from? Case fresh? No, and I'm about to show you why. Now, let me tell you this. These are the 4 they carried forward. And why would they carry forward these figures? It makes no sense. Why would you carry forward peg warmers? Why would you carry forward figures that have formerly not performed well? Now, you know, you assume a Stormtrooper is going to sell well, right? That makes sense. A Stormtrooper would probably make sense to sell well. I agree with that in a way. So let's throw that one out. But then moving into Jyn Erso, who's in 1 movie and, you know, 1 and done. Who really cares? A dead Supreme Leader Snoke and Jakku in probably our most hated outfit. Nobody wants her in that outfit. It's sickening. Why? So then here you are spending 6 months waiting for another wave 2 to come down, right? So, and we might not even see wave 3 till after Christmas. And here we are. And we're going to have these clogging up this at Christmas time. This is all you're going to see on the shelves, because the 1 or 2 cases each one of your Walmart's going to get bought up of the new figures, and the old ones that already have 8 of each in the back room are going to now clog up the shelves. But guess what? The new figures aren't even that great. And the only figure that anybody cares about is this. Who cares? I don't really care about this guy. But this is the only one anybody ever cares about. And of course, if I ever make a scene and I want to have more than one, I've got to have more than one to make my scene. So I had picked up every one I saw because they're so hard to find. It makes no sense. The distribution is shot. Issue number 4, shot distribution. It's terrible. First of all, you could get them at GameStop because they're overpriced at like $15.99 or some crazy nonsense, $14.99, and then you can get them on Amazon for 15, 20, 30, 50, ridiculous amounts of price. You can get them on eBay. Well, when you go on eBay to buy one of these, the sky's the limit, so good luck. Lastly, I want to point out my main frustration with all of the distribution issues, with all of the poor choices, that if I just want to be a completist and I want to spend $7,000, yes, if you buy them at retail price and you buy one of each, by the time this crazy nonsense is over, you've got $7 grand just in these remade figures. I mean, we're not talking about any real valuable figures like vintage. We're talking about vintage collection here, right? Should be 10 a piece. Should actually be about $6 or $7 a piece. But they're milking the vintage collection. This card back adds another $5. No, this card back actually costs them $0 extra to make versus the other junk cards that they've been putting out. They just want to milk you for it. They're milking you for this card. But my card come out of the box, an hour and a half after they stocked it, looking all wrinkled and beat up and deformed to a point where it won't stand up. Well, you know what? I'm going to find a better one, and I kept my receipt. I'm going to return this thing because it's ridiculous. You can't even put enough figures in a case that I can get one figure that's not deformed. I'm a collector, and I've been a collector since 1996. But this is how Hasbro decides to treat me. And, you know, I tell you, I've got a few of the HasLab things coming in, the Java cell barges, and I got a few of the yak faces coming in. And I hope that they don't mistreat that the same way they've mistreated this. How does this come out of it like this? How does this happen? But anyway, like and subscribe. My future of the vintage collection is very, very bleak and sour. Except I think they're going to remake all of the, you know, those $20 figures. If you go online, you can find some of the vintage Jedi figures for like $20. That's what next year is going to be all about. Is getting those Weequays, getting those different versions of Weequay, getting all of those $20 Jedi carded figures. They're going to get remade. Hey, guess what? You could go buy the original vintage ones for $20, or you can spend $13, $50. I can't believe a Gamorrean Guard's $50, man. I've got 6 vintage Gamorrean Guards carded, and people are paying $50 for the one that just came out. That makes no sense to me. But anyway, like, subscribe to Hanger. Out.